welcome to the latest episode in our series of conversations with English UK London champions and industry leaders. Today I have the great pleasure of speaking to Nicola Lutz. Nicola, if you haven't met her before, you've obviously been living in a cave the last few years, because Nicola is the owner of No Fluff and is also the director of study travel. So you probably may have met her one of the many Alfies down the years. She's also been in the international education sector for almost 25 years, coaching and leading sales team. And many of the English UK London members, of course, remember Nicola because recently, probably about a month ago now, she led a great workshop, a masterclass on sales for non-salesy people. And so we wanted to welcome her back today with this series of conversation we're doing, so she could share some more thoughts and hopefully be helpful to people. So first of all, hello, Nicola. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Very happy to join in. Nice to chat to everybody.
Great. And how have you been coping during the lockdown and so on?
I have made myself super busy because that's how I deal with stuff. So I tend to give myself lots of tasks and mini goals, catching up with people. I've had work, we work virtually anyway, so we had a lot of virtual work on, training and coaching, and so that's been ticking over nicely. Yeah, so it's been busy. We've also moved house and all sorts of things personally, so it's been kind of a crazy time, but that's the way I like it.
Impressive, very impressive. So many schools, as you well know, are reopening. Some started in July, we're now into August, and a lot of people are thinking of reopening in September. If you were working for a school, what would be your approach to sales and marketing now, particularly with agents and partners?
I would imagine I would have already revisited my strategy. So everything needs tweaking or pivoting, as is the catchphrase now. So developing a new strategy and making sure that my net was a bit wider, rather than relying on certain countries and markets and agents individually. I would make sure that my plan included reaching out to new markets and new agents within those markets, whilst ticking over support and working well with my existing agents. I would also do some things. So the tendency is to kind of run around like a bit of a headless chicken, thinking, what do we do next? We've got to open the school and PPE and oh my goodness, what we're doing. And different staff are taking on different responsibilities. So I would try and get as much clarity and actually do something. So sales-wise, plan in all that prospecting, plan in that catching up, plan in all that marketing activity. Even if it's just for an hour a day or something, I would set aside the time and be very precious about it, because you need to maintain that sales momentum or restart it, actually. So that's what I would be doing.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Sage advice, I think. Yeah, certainly we've had to rip up our plans, haven't we, with everything that's gone on. So certainly having a good deep think is a good place to start. Now, for those of the viewers that missed your excellent workshop, I'm not going to ask you to do it all again live now, but one of the things we're really focusing on is that with possibly people working with reduced operations, reduced number of people, there may be people in organizations that never really considered themselves to be salespeople. So what would be your 3 tips for non-salespeople now perhaps thrust into the front line, maybe dealing with direct students, inquiries, or with agent relationships? What would be your tips and advice for them?
And I'm only allowed 3. Okay, so
well, I mean, you can expand, but let's start with the podium 3 to begin with.
So firstly, I would not worry so much about it being sales. If you feel like you've been thrust into a sales role, don't worry about it too much, because actually what you're still doing is helping people achieve the goals that they wanted, which is for your agents, so helping them sell their services really well to the students and giving them, maintaining their reputation. And for the students themselves, obviously giving them great outcomes. It's a really good time to go back and read all your testimonials and all those happy emails from your partners, and remember why what you do is brilliant. And then want to do that for more people. So that's what selling is. You're just bringing more of what you do to more people, being a bit more strategic about it. Of course, I would structure some time in, like I've said, to focus on reaching out to your partners, new and old, and looking to help them and being curious about what their obstacles might be and if you can help them get over that. So those are a couple of tips. My other shameless tip would be to join in a challenge I'm putting on in a few weeks to help our sector.
Oh, God, we love a shameless plug. Go on then, Nicola. Go on. What are you doing?
I'm doing a free Facebook challenge, like a 5-day, half an hour a day, kick up the butt challenge for our sector to get into the sales mindset and habit. So it should start 24th of August. It starts, and it's free.
2 weeks time.
So that will show you how to carve out time for sales. It will show you how to look at your benefits rather than your features. It will look at how to approach the people that you're trying to sell to and get on side, and give you a few more skills. And that will help you gain a bit more confidence if you're not salesy, and give you a good reminder if you are salesy. So take in a lot of information about selling if you're not confident would be my third tip. Gather what you can.
Good. So just going back to this Facebook challenge, is it that people just attend and they're listening in to a bit like the workshop, just 5 mini versions, or is it an interactive thing, or what's the actual challenge part of it?
Quite interactive, so go find me or No Fluff on Facebook and you'll get more information as we go. But every day there'll be a small task. It shouldn't take you more than half an hour because I know everyone's still up in the air. And the idea is over that week, I will get you more sales, either now or in your pipeline. It will make you more sales. So you do about half an hour on the task, and then they'll be chucking all sorts of things in. If you've got time to read them, great. If you haven't, save them for later. And it will be there to help you. So there'll be info sheets and cheat sheets and all sorts of things to kind of get you a bit more in the mindset.
Brilliant.
And it's all very exciting.
Oh, that's great. Well, I think, it couldn't be better timing, really, could it? Let's be honest, because I think if we're going to get ourselves out of the mess that we're in, we need to sell ourselves out of it, and we need to get as much revenue in as well to keep all the schools and colleges going. So, yeah, well, thank you for that. Sounds great. Presumably for more information, they could follow No Fluff on Facebook. Would that be the best way to find out about that, or would it be on the No Fluff website?
Just go onto Facebook. Most people are on Facebook, so obviously I'm up there as Nicola Lutz, or there's No Fluff. It's also on LinkedIn. There'll be lots of information. When we come to the 2 weeks before, I'll be posting lots of information about it, and ask your friends, come along. But there's lots of interactivities. The idea is that we can all buoy each other up and swap ideas and report in. I'm going to hold you a bit accountable to some of the tasks as well. I know. But it will help you on your way. But it won't be revealing anything to your competitors or anything like that. There won't be any of that in it. But it will be, I'll be like your cheerleader for the week.
Great. Well, I'd have you in my corner if I had the choice. So that's great. Right. So finally, you're also director of study travel, Nicola. And so you've got a very good overview of the industry from both sides, from obviously our agent partners and also the schools. What does the recovery look like for you? And what are you most optimistic about?
My view of the recovery keeps changing, actually, as COVID restrictions keep changing. And I hate using the phrase new normal, but we are getting used to that. We're obviously working at reduced capacity. Personally, I would think that would last until next summer. Maybe we'll be up to about 70%-ish capacity, but I don't know. We don't know how many of these second spikes are going, how many borders are going to be shut and reopened. But my optimism is that we have become very, very good at changing with these different restrictions, and we've really quickly learned how to put information online, for example, and teach online, look at different ways of blended learning as well, and also look at different countries, different supply countries, and be able to move quickly. I think I'm really optimistic about that. So lots of companies, lots of schools and colleges and agencies actually have managed to move fast, and now we're kind of expecting to have to move fast. We're ready for it, and that can be really, really inventive. That can quite often kick start a new train, or a new way of thinking, a new way of doing things. So I think that's a real positive to come out of it.
Yeah, I think we've really seen people's entrepreneurial spirit, haven't we, in the last few months?
Yes.
Not that it was ever hidden away, but I think through necessity has driven things. So great. Okay, finally, as you probably are aware of, at the moment there's a campaign that was started by London and Partners, who are the body responsible for promoting London through Visit London. They've got a campaign running at the moment that's called Because I'm a Londoner. And I just wanted to ask you, we've been asking everyone, for you, Nicola, what makes London so special? And now that we're coming out of lockdown, what have you perhaps missed about London? Because I know you live outside London now, but what have you missed about London you're looking forward to doing now that things are easing?
Oh, personally, so for me, I love London's mix of things to do. I'm actually not a big crowd person unless it's at an Alfie, so I would skip the shopping areas and things like that. But I love all the concerts, the open air concerts they have that are restarting, and I love some of the galleries in particular. But the thing I missed most this year is a bit of a family tradition. So we tend to go into London for the Sonnet Walks, which is a Shakespearean walk through some amazing parks and areas of London that are quite quiet, with really good little secret passageways, with all the little stories attached. And as you're doing this walk, which is always held around Shakespeare's birthday, and which is also St. George's Day, you are suddenly not pounced upon, but suddenly on your walk will be a sonneteer quoting or acting out Shakespearean poetry, or a scene from Romeo and Juliet or whatever. It's the most random thing. So good. It's super cheap, and we do it we've been doing it for maybe 20 years now, or I don't even know, since forever. And I miss that. So the London walks, going through little secret alleyways and listening to podcasts about them. That's what I really love about London, those little secret parts.
Brilliant. Great stuff. Well, Nicola, thank you very much. On behalf of everyone at English UK London, thank you very much for joining us today and sharing all your insights, both into the industry and also particularly on the sales side of things. So thank you very much. And we look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.